Hey everybody, welcome into Gem Discovery. As you can see next to me we have Robert, a freshly shorn Robert.
Unrecognizable.
he's back from overseas. He had a really nice vacation, but when he walked in, it was just kind of like, well, who's this?
Who's this guy?
Handsome gentleman
He looks
with
lighter.
no hair, no ponytail.
I run so much faster now.
Oh, I'm sure.
No wind resistance.
Yes.
There's no drag.
Yes, the aerodynamics have really
My
changed.
close-up, Shane.
So what we're going to be doing today is we're at the end of July, so we're going to go out with a bang on,
Right on.
July's birthstone. So I did a show earlier in the month that just kind of went over all the different treatment possibilities that comes to Ruby. But since we're going to be celebrating Ruby on what is the last day of the month, we're only showing the nicest stuff. You've kind of seen the other stuff that'll have treatments like lead glass filling, flux healed. So everything that we're showing today is heat only.
Great.
So really nice stuff. Outside of no treatment whatsoever, it's the best treatment you can get, heat only. And really all that does is it really clears up a bunch of like the silk that's inside of it. It just helps with clarity. So that will really be all it's doing. These are all going to have really fine crystal already, so they're going to have a really nice luster coming back to you, a crisp color. So the first one that we're looking at here is a 7.3 by 5.3 oval matched pair, and it's just under 2.5 carats. It's 2.43 carats, and these are from Thailand. So with this, obviously, this is for a really nice pair of earrings, and it's a richer, deeper red color.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I have all these laid out in front of me, and a lot of the other ones that we have now, full disclosure, we have 3 rubies and 2 sapphires that are in the show, a pink and a purple sapphire, because I just wanted to show that other side of the corundum family that, you know, it's a color that's close to it, and then, you know, the purple. Because I always say that the difference between pink sapphire and a red ruby, it's very subjective.
It's very, yeah, it's kind of are you buying or selling sort of situation.
Yeah, and exactly what you said. Buying or selling is where it's really most important. And if you saw last week with Justin Prim, which if you haven't watched that yet,
I have not gotten to it.
I'm kind of jealous
Yeah,
that you weren't here last week. It was fascinating. But he had cut from the same synthetic sapphire, like rough, and just cut it on a different axis.
Oh,
so you
that's
could
awesome.
see how it was a little bit more orangey and a little bit more pink. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into keeping these colors so you can sell it at what you want. Now with these going around, I'll pick them up in the tweezers so you can see them, because they really do just have wonderful color. And you know, I'm wearing a pinky colored shirt behind me, so I'll put it on my hand just so you can see it. But really nice coloring on these and really bright, vibrant colors. And like I said, these are from Thailand. These are a one only. Obviously, it's really hard with quality like these to get matching to make more than one, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. No, the color on these is amazing. a couple weeks ago, so it's not relevant anymore, but I'm going to say it anyways. There was a TikTok that I do edit from a gemstone seller, and he had 3 equal-sized stones of emerald, ruby, and sapphire.
Yeah.
And it was a, guess which one is the most expensive? And it was 10 seconds. And I was like, well, if there's anything I know about colored gemstones is that ruby is king, you know, of colored gems. And sure enough, yeah, the ruby was the most valuable of the 3. And these are gorgeous rubies.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like when they put stuff up there, it's always like a sneaky guess. I try to do that on some of my shows to say which one's the most expensive. But when you look at something like, did you say there's a fuzz on one of them? Oh, I see it now.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yep.
How'd you get there? I thought you were about to.
No, I will not put it in my mouth. There are some cases where you'll do that just to get it, but no, not that one. But on these, you can just see that rich color. It's pretty easy to tell. Now, on all these, I'm going from least expensive to most, just because you want that to pop there at the end. So with these here, they're just over $7,000. Really nice stuff. Oh, wow. George Williams is watching on Facebook. There's a legend in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Retiree just can't stay away from the gemstone business. I'm surprised he's out here. So we'll go to the purple sapphire next, Shane, on 1-2. And I'll make sure to wipe these down now to make
Jackie,
sure that we're
yeah, Jackie, I did cut my hair off I was in Spain for the last 2 weeks, and there was no way I was going to live through that heat wave with hair down to here. So, yeah, I chopped it all off. This is for those of you that have been watching the YouTube channel for a few years, you'll recognize this is the old look that I was rocking when I first started. So
this is OG Robert.
yeah, yeah. I walked into the barber shop with a hair down to here, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, what do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Cut it all off." She was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "This is my favorite type of haircut. I haven't had a pandemic haircut in like a year and a half." And I was like, "All right, well, go nuts."
Yeah, that's what's really funny is every time you go to get long hair cut off, I mean, it's a commitment. Like you have committed to it.
She had all my hair back here, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I'm in the chair. I have the bib on. You have the scissors. Don't ask me that. Don't give me a chance.
Have shown
just
up
do it
if I weren't sure.
Just do it." And then I hopped on a plane that next morning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. And the airline loved you too because you lowered the weight of what they were doing.
We were able to check a whole other bag just because I had my hair cut off.
Man, see, it all worked out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and then that first bit of shampoo you use after your haircut.
Oh my gosh,
and you're like,
crazy.
"Oh, I didn't need this much at
and
all."
I was like, "Oh my God, I can feel the water on my scalp. I could like feel oh man."
It's a completely
and it was
different
dry
life.
in 15 minutes. That's the thing they don't tell you that I forget.
Nope.
That I forgot when I had long hair was that it took, I had to like plan days around, okay, well, is my hair going to be wet? And now I hop out of the shower and I'm dry in 15 minutes.
See, this is what happens.
It's amazing.
It's the summer reset.
If you're on a fence and you're a guy with long hair, chop it off. Do it right now.
As a 43-year-old man with a bald spot, grow it while you have it. Because you'll regret it later. So if you're in your 20s and have long hair, keep that long hair. Might not grow back. So this one in front of us, we have a 4.6 carat purple sapphire.
That's a big stone.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful stone. And this does come with an AGL report. It is heated, and it's from Madagascar. So beautiful stuff. Like Madagascar, Sri Lanka is a little bit more common. Madagascar sapphires are not really, you don't see them that often, so.
From Madagascar?
Yeah.
But Madagascar is like a hotbed for
everything. Yeah. And I'm going to put this in my little ring holder so you can see what it might look like if you were to set it in a ring.
When did you get that?
I got this a few weeks ago.
That's
nifty. This is something that we do not currently sell, but we're going to try and get these in because they're great just display pieces where you don't have to commit to mounting anything.
I like that.
Yeah.
I for some reason I really get a kick out of like very specific tools that do one task perfectly well.
One task and one task.
That is one of those tools. It just does one thing, and it does it perfect.
Yeah, they really are. It's just so nice to be able to display stuff like jewelry, but not actually having to set it.
And that's clear too. That's clean.
It really helps to show off the transparency through this stone because you can see the metalworking beneath it.
Yeah.
But it's just that really, really nice color, and the way that table reflects. You got a great polish on top of it. So the partner that we got these from, they're a couple of brothers, and one of them has longer hair, but they're both very handsome individuals. And last year at one of the trade shows, we walked up and they were standing there. And I walked up and I was like, "Come on, guys, no one's allowed to be this handsome. Let's break it up." They cornered the market at that show. So this is a bigger stone. And I wish I had a piece of sapphire rough just so you could see like what it takes to get stones this big.
Yeah.
And it really is, it's fascinating to see what a lapidary can do, and especially a good lapidary. And I would highly recommend anybody that didn't get to watch it to go back and watch the show we did last week with Justin Prim, because it really gets you into the mind of what all goes in to getting it cut. This past weekend I went to a Gem and Mineral show, and I went to the faceting symposium that Justin was at, and it was really cool to see all these guys who it's their passion and their life. And I bought some rough myself, and everyone's like, "Are you a cutter?" And I'm like, "No, like I'm just a gemologist." But once you listen to Justin talk, you really think maybe I could do this. But in reality, I like my fingers too much to really
to throw them
grind them up on a wheel, because you will have that happen. So one of the things with stones like this, you know, these all do command a higher price point. I just really wanted to show them off because we're really trying to let people see the finest of the fine. There's so many times that if we didn't work here, we would probably never see something of this magnitude.
Absolutely. Yeah, I try to remind myself that if I left tomorrow, the next time I would see gemstones like these would be maybe never.
Yeah.
Outside of a store.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'm kind of not, I don't want to say immune to it, but people are always so hesitant to pick up something very expensive, and I get that nervousness.
You got to keep that, otherwise you'll just start juggling them.
We're definitely at the point now, though, that you see enough stuff and you're like, yeah, I'll grab it, I'll hand it off. But there's a lot of people that want to give it back instantly once they hear what the price is. But, you know, this is just a little above $6,000. So I say just and a little. It really is something that, not immune to it, but the price is going to keep going up the more we get stuff.
Where we stayed in Madrid, right on the street, 2 doors down, was a mineral shop.
Oh,
and
really?
I was like, there's no way. I can't escape this stuff. What are the odds? And I walked in, and I was looking around, and I was doing my best Spanish. I don't know the Spanish words for all of the specific minerals and stuff. But I was like, this one, how much is this one? She's like 65, and I was like, oh, I can get better than that, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's kind of, the experience is ruined for me. I'm like, oh, I know how much is that's worth, you know?
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking about.
That's the other part that's an issue with working here is
kind of spoiled.
You're very spoiled. You know, you can get a lot of stuff at a really good price, and then you start learning. So once you start doing that, then you're even better. So this one that Shane is showing right now is a really, really nice ruby. This is like kind of the color that everyone thinks of in their mind.
Yeah.
The match pair that we showed, it had a little bit more of a brick red look to it. It kind of had some brown tones, but this is that really nice, just very slightly purplish red ruby that is kind of what everybody wants. Now, Justin had talked about it, and I'll talk about it quite a bit, that you know, rubies don't have an attractive shape to them all the time because they're trying to maximize the color. And like even this one where you can kind of see that keel line is kicked to one side. It's not really even with the stone. All they were trying to do was maximize the weight and the color of this stone. And it's a more shallow crystal, or a more shallow stone, so that just means it was a little bit of a darker crystal when they were cutting it.
This is the 1.98 carat? The oval?
Yes, 1.98 carat.
Dropping a link.
Yep, and this is Tom's birthstone, so this is kind of what it would look on me if I wanted to get this as my birthstone. Don't think I'm going to do it though.
Yeah.
Not right now. Not this month. And this is from Sri Lanka, and it is heated. Just like everything before it and after it will be heated. But this is from Sri Lanka, and it's a 1.98, so a bit under 2 carats, and it's a 9.7 or 9.7 by 6.2.
Still a good healthy size though, and I like the cut of it as well. The oval is, I think, flattering with that color.
Yeah, and that's, you know, everything that we have in the show is an oval, and that's what you'll see a lot in rubies and sapphires is the ovals. You won't see a lot of rounds. I think it's probably just because of the crystal shape, but again, like with a brilliant stone, you do have a higher RI, so you would get brilliance out of it, but it's just, I guess, not something you would typically see.
You know, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
About it, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is their thing.
I always say a lot smarter people than me do that.
Yeah.
Part. I can just talk about
I'll let them do it.
Yeah,
I'll let them do it.
We'll
They're
let
going to do a much better job than I ever would.
Yeah, I mean, Rob's got the new haircut going. He's too handsome to be worrying about.
I can't get my little fingers dirty.
Yeah, we can't mess up our fingers.
Come on.
We're a couple of delicate guys over here. That's what we're trying to get at. But on this high end stuff, you know, it's something that the value on these, from things that we've seen in the past couple of years, these just keep climbing in value.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, you never really want to say like what it could be worth in a couple of years or anything like that, but everything that we're seeing is just really.
But the line is.
Yeah, when you're watching these lines and you're watching the prices, as they increase. And we can even see it from data points within our building. The higher end ruby and sapphire is constantly selling. Like it commands a value, it keeps a value, and it really is something that once we get them in, they don't last too long.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, I mean, they call them the big three for a reason. The big
Yep.
three of colored gemstones, including emerald, are ruby and sapphire. Although I guess they're probably talking about blue sapphire, but you know, corundum is corundum. It's an incredibly valuable stone, super durable, perfect for jewelry, and
Yeah.
it comes in a variety of colors. So, yeah, it's kind of unbeatable.
and it's one of those things that as you're wearing it, people know instantly what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Especially with sapphire. So, yes, blue sapphire, but those pink sapphires, they're really,
You
really.
just had one, and the color of it was remarkable.
Yeah, and the color change sapphire as well. Star sapphires, color change sapphires. If you can get a color change star, you're doing really good.
Oh wow! I don't know that I've seen one of those in person. A color change star?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one at a vendor's office in New York, and
Ooh.
I think the cost on it was $70,000. So,
Was it natural?
yeah, I delicately put it back into the
Yeah.
case.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to put these two next to each other
Wow.
just to be on there at the same time. And I always have to say, you only get one of these. They don't come together. So we'll talk about one before the other because the price is very close together on both of them. There's only $75 that separates the two of these stones. And you can see that one is significantly larger than the other. So what you're looking at is the larger stone is a pink sapphire, and the smaller stone is going to be your ruby. Now, the ruby is heated, and both of these actually come from the same place.
Really?
They're both Burmese. So that is really one of the things that's going to be commanding the price per carat. Yes,
Okay.
color and crystal clarity, all that stuff goes into why something would have a high cost per carat. But it's really the locale. I'm going to do the sapphire last. We'll do the ruby first and leave that out there. Now this one, face up, looks really good. Has great color. It's well proportioned to the eye. It doesn't look that odd. And I'll hold it in the tweezer first, and I'll show it from the back here in a second because that's where you're going to notice. I've said it before, all your secrets lie on the bottom of a gemstone, whether it's a diamond or a colored stone, because that's where they can hide this stuff at. Everything needs to look great face up because if you're going to show it or sell it in a piece of jewelry or wear it in a piece of jewelry, it has to look the best when it's facing you. So I'll let it turn real quick while it's sitting on the table because you'll see that I said it's a well-proportioned stone. As you're looking at it from the bottom, it is not at all. It looks very odd because it has pitches and angles that you kind of see that, you know, it's an oval, but as you see it spin, it almost looks like an optical illusion because that culet is pushed so far back on
not
this.
Centered.
Yeah, it almost looks like a spaceship as you see it
it's
because
a little wonky, a little offset.
very wonky, but
It's an italicized ruby.
yes, they had to do all this stuff just to keep the color really well, and there was probably some crystals that they tried to avoid. And one thing we talked about with Justin Prim last week is I asked him, can you be a perfectionist when you're a gemstone cutter? Because with something like this, I made the joke about it's like when you try to line your sideburns up. If you try and make them perfectly even, you won't have sideburns
anymore. You're not going to have any,
And he said that you can't be, you have to accept certain things. So something like this, you just accept because no one's going to set a ruby upside down in a ring. It would look cool if it was well calibrated and perfectly cut. I have actually seen jewelry come in here and we're like, did they mean to do this? And it was black spinels that were set with the culet facing up. It looked cool, but it's just not what you would typically think. But on a colored stone or a high-end ruby like this, they're not ever going to be doing that. So this one definitely, these are a lot easier to show because you can just get the idea of what it would look like if you wanted to set this in a ring. No commitment to it whatsoever, just a nice little 4-prong ring.
And the underside of it is no issue.
Nope.
With this setting, at least.
Yep, and you can even see, and that's the thing, with something something like this is, it's going to be such a custom piece of jewelry.
Sure,
This selling price on this is right at about $18,000. So this is 17.9, which, let me look at my phone later and I'll tell you the cost per carat on that, because I'm not the best with math.
Real quick, hello Resort Dog, hello Reptile. Hope you guys are having a good Monday.
Yeah, hey
Welcome to the show.
everyone. Thank you so much for watching. So this is just under $8,000 a carat.
Okay.
So that, you know, there's even well more expensive. If you go to Jadora.com and search rubies or sapphires and sort by high to low, you're gonna just swallow the drink before you look at it, because you might spit it out. I do that the same way. But this is really just a gorgeous stone. Would look great in any setting, you know, surrounded by some diamonds, maybe even some alexandrite, get a little color change going there. And now we'll talk about,
Yeah, I'm just, sorry, I was fiddling with my little mic thing and then I heard what you said and I was like, oh, that would look amazing.
He's probably got that phantom brushing the hair back and
I'm
trying to get it out of his face and
ponytail
it's not
interference
there.
back here. There's nothing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's the good thing, is that little clip won't get caught in your hair anymore.
Nope.
You won't have to worry about that.
Sure.
Yeah, Resort Dog, that happens a lot. You know, ruby pricing is always something where it's kind of a guesstimate unless you're in that business every day. The best thing to do is always price it high, because you can come down and it looks like you're giving a deal.
Yeah.
That would be
That's true, yeah.
what I would try to do. Now, this is a 4.10 carat, so it's not double, but it's getting close to it, of that ruby that we just showed. And the price is the same. You know, this one is $17,825. So a $75 difference between the two.
This is our pink sapphire?
Yeah, this is the pink sapphire. This is the last one we have before I give everyone a little sneak peek of some of the goodies that Tom brought back from his last trip. And I think that what we're going to do on that, there's been some discussions that we're going to do some really nice, I don't even know if you were here for some of these, but we're going to do some really nice pre-produced stuff on the YouTube channel. So we're going to combine everything that they're already doing over there with lots of information, really good stories, and then we're going to be showing some of this product that we're working up. But we brought a bunch of mineral specimens. So
I love that.
Yeah, a lot of one-onlys, but really nice mineral specimens, elmwood fluorites, a lot of cave and rock material. So this thing...
Speaking of one-onlys, these all the ones that you've shown today are one of one. So if you do swallow the drink and click, that is the that's the stone that you'll be receiving.
Yeah,
What's the color on that? It's
I know this is
pink. Gosh.
This is a very stunning stone. This is $4,300 a carat on this. It's 4.10 carat, and it's a 10.6 by 8 by 9. So a give and take a little bit. We'd call it a jeweler's 11 by 9. And again, one only. It comes with an AGL report, heat only, and it is from Burma as well. So, you know, Burma is really one of those locales that is something that it is always, it speaks for itself.
Locale. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Resort Dog. I like the cave and rock stuff too. I can't wait for everybody to see what we brought back, and we're going to have to kind of be strategic, because when you have named mines like that, like Cave and Rock or Elmwood, that stuff kind of tends to go really fast. But I brought back some hobnail calcites and a lot of, you know, calcite and fluorite, some sphalerite, all from these locales. So it's really exciting, and I'm actually excited because I'm going to Illinois this coming weekend.
Okay.
And we've already decided that on the way back, we're going to drive down through Hardin County.
Right on.
And kind of look for the Minerva Mine and the Cave and Rock area. And we're just going to look for tailing piles, because you know they exist.
Are you allowed to go in, or are you?
Well, the mines are probably closed out, but that's kind of the thing, is like any of these places that you go to, there's always tailing piles, because they evacuate all this stuff from the mines and the caves. And when we go up, my family lives in a part of Illinois that, I mean, they have areas called Coal City, Diamond. So these are 50 to 60-year-old tailing piles that have grown over with stuff. So I at least know the area well enough to know where to go look for tailing piles.
You got to take a camera with you. You got to record that.
Oh, I can lease them. I don't know if I have that kind of money, Resort Dog. If I sell some of these stones, we'll see what we can get
maybe
going.
If we can flip some of those.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. But either way, like, I'm just excited about going and doing some rock hounding, maybe get some pyrite suns if I can get them. So Shane's got a little shot on this. This is a bigger stone than I'm used to in here. I don't want to drop the 17,000.
No.
But you can see kind of how this thing works. Always table down, and there we go. It's in there pretty good.
Are you guys on Facebook? Yeah, gemstones.com on Facebook.
Yep.
Give us a follow. We're on Instagram as well, and I was about to say we're on YouTube. You're on YouTube. You already know that. Yeah, we have a Facebook and an Instagram account. Go check it out. The Instagram has beautiful gemstone and mineral photos on white backgrounds, super high resolution, high quality photos, and lots of good information written by yours truly.
Yeah, you're looking at the curator right there. And I am on Instagram at JTV_Tom Joyce. I try to post up and coming things like while we're out in the field trying to get stuff to bring back here that people want to buy. And it's just something that we could look at to get some excitement going on what's coming. Now,
right on.
We're just going to give a quick little preview of things that are coming. I really liked this a lot. If anybody's into dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Yeah, a nice little quartz that has a really cool carved dinosaur on the inside of it.
It's a fossil.
It's never too early to start thinking about Christmas gifts because Christmas is coming sooner than anyone thinks. So it might be time to lock some of this down. So I brought back a couple of these. I think I only brought back 2, but they're 2 different carvings. I think the other one might have a crocodile in it, might be a frog. But I did bring back some carvings, and you can kind of see.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Gosh, how do they go in there and get the legs like that? It's such a steep angle.
Yeah.
How does they go up from the feet?
Yeah, because it really is just like an optical illusion when you look at it, how it's resting in there. I like putting a little light to it just because, I'm blowing out Shane's iris.
Here comes the asteroid.
Yeah. Yeah, here comes the asteroid, which is funny because I'm going to join Susan on Susan's stash after this, speaking of asteroids, and we're going to be showing moldavite. We got a bit of moldavite in, and I know wire wrappers like to do moldavite. I like to call them heady nugs. So
they are.
Some heady wraps over there. So this next one that I'm going to show, speaking of Elmwood fluorite,
check that out,
is a really nice Elmwood fluorite piece. It has a gorgeous little calcite cube on the front. I don't know if, or not even cube, I don't even know if it'll show up, but that little calcite piece does fluoresce. The corners of it will go red.
Nice.
So really, I love all things fluorite. This past weekend, I helped a guy unpack a bunch of Pakistani fluorite that he had purchased. And I asked him if I could help him, and he looked at me like I was crazy. Like, if you want to help me, you can help me unpack it. But it's one of those things where it's like, I get to see it before everybody else.
Yeah.
So I picked out the piece I wanted and bought it. So it was really nice. But this Elmwood material, another one that just speaks for itself. All of the nice cubes, the formations on it. I brought back almost every piece of Elmwood material that they had up there.
Really?
Most of the cave and rock material as well. Fluorite's my favorite specimen. I hope it's everyone else's favorite specimen, and if it's not, I brought back enough that it might change your mind once you start seeing it.
You can start passing them around the office, maybe.
Yep, but
I'm a big fluorite fan.
Yeah, all these little steps that you can see in that growth. The luster is really nice. The color where it kind of falls out when you can see it spin with those little triangles.
I love that.
In there, yeah. Disillusioned corners, Carthage corners, all the things about Elmwood material I just really, really love. And, backlight some of these.
For sure.
The way the color or the light reflects off of it so you can see all of the different step patterns in there. I could look at fluorite for hours.
Pigeon Blood Ruby, the username, great username, wants to know what the spring ring thing is called.
So it's just you can just call it a ring stone holder. And these are things that we're really looking to get in that we could provide to everybody.
Yeah.
But it's just something that all it is just to show what it would look like on the hand. Because if you were wanting to sell a ring or a stone for a ring, it gives you the ability to, you know, put it on and you can imagine what it would look like once you took it to your jeweler and got it set. And it's just, you know, sterling silver, maybe stainless, but it's just a little tool I have at home because it helps me assess quality of stones when I'm looking at it, because I can, that's kind of what you want to do, is hold it out, you know, at arm's length to really assess the color.
You're not holding it there, no tweezers.
Yep, and then you can rock it back and forth, see if the color falls out anywhere, because you can do it with tweezers as well, but it's so much easier when it's on your hand, because 9 times out of 10, that's where it's going to end up, or on a pendant. So that's kind of the little education bit for today. So next week, we kind of have some stuff planned out. I'm going to talk with this guy here to figure out what we want to do for next Monday, but we're going to kind of do some rarities on Sunday, so tune into that. Sundays at 10 a.m., Mondays at noon. Let us know what you want to see. Send us a comment, a message, and we'll see what we can get out there for you. But in the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.